You glance around you and see different people with different stories. At any given moment, you can see 100 faces in the school hallway or 21 faces on the pitch. Each face, each set of eyes, each smile has a story to tell. It may be positive, it may be negative. Point is, the story is there waiting to be told. You just have to listen. If someone listened to mine, it might say something like this. My sister Shelby was my best friend, my other half, my better half. She was a varsity athlete in full IB. She was such an inspiration and someone to idolize, a perfect role model for me growing up. Her smile lit up a room faster than an actual light could ever dream of. This is why, when November 2010 came, my family began crumbling. Shelby, just 6 months before she graduated as a full IB candidate, attempted to take her own life. This became the first of 4 unsuccessful attempts. It became the first of 4 countless nights we spent at the hospital. One of countless nights I spent crying, and one of countless nights I spent laying in bed unable to sleep. Every time I think of that day, I start to cry. The song If I Die Young constantly plays in my head on repeat. I am so thankful that she never successfully committed suicide. However, on February 6, 2011, somebody very close to me did. In the midst of all the excitement surrounding the Super Bowl in Dallas came sorrow, misery, and pain. I remember coming home from a Super Bowl party to learn that my uncle, a husband and father of 2, had shot himself in the head following the conclusion of the game. He had struggled with alcohol abuse for his entire adulthood, and it had finally gotten the best of him. He was home alone, drunk, and depressed, and he took his own life. I remember rushing to the hospital in hopes of finding he had made it by some miracle, but he had not. He had successfully taken his own life and left his wife without a husband, his kids without a father, my grandmother without a son, and my mom without a brother. Here I was, having spent the past 4 months terrified of losing my sister, and I lost my uncle. Everything around me was crumbling down. My sister began bouncing from mental hospital to rehab center, back to mental hospital, and then to a different rehab center. I couldn't focus on anything at school or at home. I was constantly worried I was going to lose someone else. I began missing school and failing classes. I lost all drive and desire. I even began losing my faith. But shortly after my uncle's death, I was diagnosed with a mild form of Tourette's. So now, in the middle of everything else I had going on, I had to get used to a new medicine and learn to cope with my Tourette's. I had to turn to those around me, away from my family. At this point, my family was in turmoil. My oldest sister was not talking to my mom because she thought she was being too easy on my middle sister. My sister, while battling her depression and mental illness, was also trying to come out of the drug and alcohol abuse lifestyle. While my sisters and I were able to see this, my mom could not. She refused to face the truth, and my oldest sister decided she didn't want her kids around it. My mom was not allowed to see her grandkids for 2 months. She began distancing herself from all of us. At a time when I needed my mom the most, I had nobody. Luckily, I made amazing friends my junior year, but they were not very positive influences. They partied, they drank, they smoked, not exactly the crowd I wanted to be around. I made it through junior year, visiting my sister in rehab centers and working on getting my grades back on track. When senior year came around, I became best friends with these amazing godly people. They helped restore my faith and find God again. They enabled me to find my passion for life again and reignite the fire I had in me. I began attending church again with my sister and her family. I still remember the first time I saw my 1-year-old niece fold her hands and whisper amen. Even in the middle of all this chaos and pain, I had these 2 beautiful children helping me to keep walking and keep smiling. Even in the hardest times of my life, I was able to smile because they gave me a reason to. This is what I believe. I believe in smiling no matter what your situation. I believe you can keep pushing forward. I believe no matter how hard life is, it's never worth resorting to drugs or taking your own life. Most importantly, I believe in counting your blessings every day and living life to the fullest. Tomorrow is not promised, so do not wait to start smiling.